Grace Lou claimed she invited a date on a romantic weekend getaway, but he canceled at the last minute. Dan Collins says he fell for another woman right before the trip and didn't want Miss Lou to be misled.
All right, Ms. Lou, you are suing Mr. Collins for $450 that you feel he owes you for canceling some plans last minute. Let me hear from you.
Well, unfortunately, I met Dan at a speed dating event.
A what?
At a speed dating event.
Oh, tell me about it. How did it go? How many people were at the table? Have you done this before, the speed dating?
That was actually my first time giving it a try.
Have you done it since then?
No.
Did you do it that day with friends or you went alone?
I went by myself.
Have you done it before?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes, yeah. A few times. I agree that the connection is nice in person.
Yeah, that's how we used to do it.
Yeah.
All right. So, went fine for me. So you do the speed dating, and there's how many people there?
There was 15 total.
Okay.
20 male, 20 female.
How long do you talk to each other? 5 minutes?
Yeah, I think it was a 5-minute timer this time around.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then just both of you just start talking out of nowhere. There's no there are no games. There's no questions preset or anything. You both just start talking to each other.
Yeah, and I guess it was something you felt at first sight.
Yes, both of you felt the connection, and therefore you start dating. How long are you dating?
Well, we dated for about 2 months before the trip.
Okay, now tell me about the trip.
So about a month into our dating after the event, we saw each other a couple of times, and we talked almost every day on the phone, and I felt there was something really special going on. So I suggested maybe we could spend a weekend away in Sedona.
Okay.
So Sedona is about 2 hours away by car. And Dan said he was available the second weekend of May. So I offered to book. Well, we didn't really talk about the details, but I offered to pay.
You offered to book it, but did you ever pay half, I pay half? Like what was going to be the plan? That you would just eat it? That you would just pay for it?
I had always planned.
Hold on 1 second, I'm not talking to you. What was your plan is what I want to know. What was your plan?
Well, since I was, we talked over the phone, and I offered to put it on my credit card.
That's not my question. My question was, what was your plan? Let's say you had gone on this trip. Were you going to say to him, I want half, or was this your treat?
I guess at that time, I was really falling for him. So I felt I wouldn't mind paying for the trip.
Okay.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, when you talked to him about the place you found, that place was how much?
Was $200.
But then you decided to upgrade to a better place.
Correct.
That was costing you how much?
$450.
Okay. And did you let him know that, or you wanted that to be a surprise for him?
So after that, we went on more dates. And I felt, there was something more. And as I said, I was really falling for him. So I decided to...
What do you mean by you felt there was something more?
It felt that I might be meeting, the right person.
Okay.
At that moment, I felt strongly about it.
Okay. We know all about your feelings. Have you ever had a conversation with him to see if he was dating you exclusively?
I was going to have that conversation.
Yeah, that's a pretty important conversation. So did he ever tell you that he was dating you exclusively?
Well, at that time, we didn't say we were dating exclusively.
And were you going out with him every day, or were you seeing him every weekend day? How was it? So
we would go out like 2 to 3 times a week and spend a weekend together. And then we talk almost every day on the phone.
Okay.
Sometimes hours at a time.
So, as it turns out, he calls you, or you call him before the trip. How long before the trip did he drop the bomb on you?
Well, I texted him to confirm the trip a week before.
Oh, a week before?
Yes,
okay.
And he confirmed, and he said he was all set to go, that he was really looking forward to it. And then I have the text message right here as the evidence.
Okay, and then when did he say, I'm not going?
It was on the morning of when I was getting ready, and he was supposed to pick me up in half an hour.
Okay, talk to me about that.
So, little context here. Like, I was looking for love, like Grace was. I was at these events and things like that. And again, we're not exclusive. I was not her boyfriend. She's not my girlfriend. So I'm going on other dates. I'm seeing other people. And at the time that she had texted me and agreed everything, I was all set to go.
Coming up on Justice for the People.
They already made plans that weekend, so I just, I didn't want to go by myself and drive all the way there.
Oh, man, if any of my best friends called me and said, I'm heartbroken and I have a house in Sedona, I'd say, I'm your man.
And later,
Describe what your protective gear is.
Wrist pads and knee pads.
Okay. Anything else, or that's it?
That's it.
No helmets?
No helmets.
Okay.
this is Justice for the People with Judge Millian. We're back with a case of Grace Liu, who brought Dan Collins to court over the cost of a spoiled romantic weekend.
That week I ended up meeting somebody, and the connection was really good. I've never felt a connection like that to somebody, and it's actually the woman that I'm with today still. So that connection is carried. And I didn't feel right going on this trip necessarily. I felt like it's not fair to Grace's feelings. I was trying to protect her emotions. So I know that I had a little bit of time to kind of figure things out from meeting this girl a week.
How long before the trip had you met the girl?
So Grace had texted me saying that we had a week until the trip. Is it still good to go? And I met the girl that night. At the time of the text, I was still set to go. That night, I met the girl.
Wow, and then that week, why didn't you tell Grace if you felt that? Because it's not like you knew the girl a long time and then decided to get serious. So if it was so instantaneous, why didn't you just tell Grace, I don't think I should go on this trip? Like, why did you wait until the morning that you were supposed to pick her up?
There was a lot of reflection going on. I was trying to figure out where I was with it. I mean, it's not a rom-com.
Hold on one second. I want to hear them. Let the man talk. I really want to hear his analysis. Go ahead.
I've never done this before. I was just trying to, do the right thing and protect Grace's feelings, protect my feelings. It wouldn't have been fair if I went on this trip.
Right, but you must have been leaning towards going because you weren't canceling. Like, if you had any misgivings, don't you think it would have been a better thing to do to just cancel earlier and tell her, look, even if you're not sure what you're going to say to her, tell her, look, something's come up, I can't go, to give her a chance to have friends to go with or to cancel in time. Because there might be a cancellation policy she can take advantage of. But you just gave yourself all the breathing room you needed, and then she ends up eating it. Now, why would he be responsible for eating? I can understand how he's responsible for eating $200. In fact, you did offer to pay that.
I did, actually. She declined, actually, during that conversation.
Because she wanted the whole $450. He didn't even know you'd gone to the $450.
It was supposed to be a surprise.
By the way, what would you have done if you'd gone on this trip? Would you have told her, I'll pay half, I'll pay... how would that have worked?
I was already fully prepared to pay the $200 back before there was even an idea of me canceling. I was fully ready to try and be a gentleman and take care of that. So I would have offered to pay.
Well, no. More of a gentleman would be to cancel as soon as you met Princess Charming.
Princess
that
Charming.
would be better. But, matters of the heart are complicated, aren't they?
Exactly, yeah. And I was ready to pay. I was ready to do the right thing.
Right. When you told her, I'll pay the $200, what did she say?
So we're there.
Well, first of all, tell me how this goes down. How do you tell her that you're not going to go?
So...
Wait, go ahead. You tell me. You deserve to be able to tell me yourself. Go ahead.
So it was half an hour before he was supposed to pick me up, and he called me and told me.
At least he called you and didn't text you. All right, go on.
He called me that he couldn't go, and I was just.
I'm sure you were very disappointed.
I was heartbroken, and
right.
I thought this would be the trip that we would, become.
Have you been to Sedona before? Of course.
No.
Really?
No.
How long have you lived in Phoenix and not been to Sedona? It's my favorite place on the planet.
I guess it was just waiting for the right person to go.
Okay, so you don't go? When he calls you and says, I don't feel I should go, I've met someone else, so now it's a double whammy. Not only do you not get the trip, but he breaks up with you. So do you go?
I was just devastated.
Yeah, but better to be devastated in Sedona. It's beautiful there. You didn't have a friend you could say, oh my God, this guy, this jerk, come with me on this trip. Nobody you could call?
Well, I did call two of my best friends. They already made plans that weekend, so I just, I didn't want to go by myself and drive all the way there.
Oh man, if any of my best friends called me and said, I'm heartbroken and I have a house in Sedona, I'd say, I'm your man, Or I'd go by myself. How old are you?
I'm 26.
26. Oh, youth is just wasted on the young. It really is. I don't think at 26 I'd have gone either.
I just felt so humiliated and
humiliated in front of who? This stuff happens. There's nothing to. This isn't a humiliation. You weren't left at an altar. I mean, really, no. I mean that. I know it's heartbreaking or whatever, but and you liked him, but you dated him how long? A few months, 2 months. These things will happen, right? You have to kiss a lot of frogs. okay, before you get to the person. That's how it works, honey, right? You don't have to put all your eggs in this one basket. I agree with you. He is wrong to cancel at the last minute. I agree with you that he needs to pay because it's his action that stopped the trip from happening. I don't agree that he has to pay $450 because he didn't even know that you had done that. So I can't hold him responsible for ruining a $450 trip when he had only ruined a $200 trip. I'm really glad that it didn't work out differently, that he called you and said, I don't feel I should go on this trip, because this actually means that you can pick him. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. This is a decent person who doesn't want to lead you on anymore. And, you know, so another guy might have got on the trip, stiffed you with the bill because you were willing to pay it, and then the next week broken up with you, right? And that's not what this guy did, right? So kudos to him, but really kudos to you. Trust your instincts, and, you know, you just get back on the horse, honey, all right? Verdict for the plaintiff, $200.
All rise.
Judge Millian has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant owes $200.
Appreciate the time that we had. Sorry it didn't work, and as always planned, I will pay the $200, as always planned. I wish you the best.
Thank you.
Coming up.
You are a small business owner because you're charging these people for the classes.
Yeah, first started with donations, but
in your home. What if they fall and they get hurt and they sue you? Oh, wait, that's what's happening here.
This is Justice for the People with Judge Millian. Destiny Payne claims she got hurt during a roller skating lesson because her instructor told her she didn't need to wear protective gear. Brenda Kennedy says she isn't responsible for the plaintiff's injury.
All right, Ms. Payne, you're suing Ms. Kennedy for $1,350 in medical bills because you feel like your injury was her fault. Talk to me. Tell me what's happening.
Yes, I'm Destiny Payne. I live in Houston, Texas, and I'm here suing my former roller skating instructor for my medical bills and my physical therapy.
How did you two meet?
Over social media.
Okay, so you're a roller skater?
yeah, I had a bad breakup, and so I got back into roller skating just as like personal therapy, and I got pretty good. So I started taking lessons, I got better, and I started posting myself on social media, just out of my garage though.
And you wanted to, out of your garage?
Yeah, just out of my garage, just regular.
Right, so the day in question, let's talk about that. You tell me what happened.
So the day before classes, I was had a late night. I was at my friend's dorm, and we were kind of skating because my friend is also a client of hers. So we were kind of skating around, and I left my protective gear at her dorm.
Describe what your protective gear is.
Wrist pads and knee pads.
Okay, anything else, or that's it?
That's it.
No helmets?
No helmets.
Okay, go on.
So that day, I was already kind of tired, kind of groggy. I woke up a little late. So I was like, okay, let's just go. So I went, and I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot my protective gear. I can't roller skate without my protective gear. I want to be safe. And Brenda told me, you can't make excuses. You have to stay, pretty much. You're going to have to trust yourself at some point to skate without protective gear.
Do you ever skate without protective gear?
Now I've gotten really good. I just skate with my wristbands. That's it.
Yeah, I got news for you, ladies. You know, all those joints, they gotta last a long time.
Coming up.
So did you hurt your wrists or your knees?
No, I actually sprained my hip.
Okay, so tell me how the protective gear would have stopped that. Yeah, that's the pickle here, isn't it?
This is Justice for the People with Judge Millian. We're back with a case of Destiny Payne, who blames instructor Brenda Kennedy for a roller skating injury.
You want to wear protective gear because each and every one of those bangs will cost you later big.
Yeah.
You just don't know about it yet.
Exactly.
But all right. So you are a small business owner, whether you know it or not, because you're charging these people for the classes.
Yeah, first started with donations, but
in your home. What if they fall and they get hurt and they sue you? Oh, wait, that's what's happening here.
Exactly.
So it's never a good idea for you to say, come on, do it without protect. You keep your little mouth shut, and you have a policy that if people are there, they pay you in advance so you don't lose money. All right, so did you hurt your wrists or your knees?
No, I actually sprained my hip.
Okay, so tell me how the protective gear would have stopped that.
Yes.
Yeah. So what'd you hurt in your hip?
I just sprained it. Like
Okay.
right
And how do you
about
know
here.
that? Did you go to the
I
hospital?
did go to the doctor. I have the physical therapy.
So you had to go to physical therapy?
Yes, for 2 sessions a week for 6 weeks. It was classes are far away.
But why is that her fault?
Because she encouraged me to stay, even after I said I don't have my protective gear and I don't feel comfortable.
And how old are you?
20.
Okay. Can you vote for president?
Yes.
Right. So if someone tells you to do something, do you have to do it?
No.
You still have agency, right?
Right.
You can make the decision, and you did make the decision.
Judge Million's verdict when justice for the people returns. This is Justice for the People with Judge Million.
Did you get hurt right away?
No, this was about halfway.
And then
into the
did you
lesson.
sit it out after that?
I did sit out. I was trying to stretch it out. Maybe it was just a temporary thing, but it continued to hurt.
Right.
So I.
This sounds like one of those things. Sometimes it's just one of those things, and someone else doesn't have to pay for it. I still don't think it's a good practice for you to tell people to. Yeah. Don't you just tell them, hey, your choice. And
I stopped lessons altogether.
You stopped the lessons?
Yes.
Why?
Because this happened, Your Honor. It just.
Oh, that's just silly. That people were enjoying themselves. You were, although you are running a business out of your garage, and that's a whole other thing. So, but if you're good at it and you have a skill, and people are willing to pay you for it, even if we call them donations, maybe you should continue to do it. Do it in a park, somewhere else. Maybe not your house, but no, I'm not going to find you liable for this. I don't think that anything you said or did caused her injury. I think that we're all adults and we make our decisions. But on top of that, even if making that statement would have made you liable, her injury isn't related to the statement in the slightest. So I'm ruling in favor of the defendant.
All rise.
Judge Million has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim is denied.
You know, it's unfortunate you hurt yourself, but I am not liable.
You are liable, since you did tell me to continue and without my pads, but.
Then I needed to find space within myself.
Okay.
And within 6 months of my pregnancy, I had a premature baby. That day.
Were you separate by the time that you had the premature baby that you were just describing? Were you guys back together again, or you were separated?
We were still together at that point. Okay. I was with a friend within the 4 months, and 2 weeks later, I did reconcile with him, and we were going to continue our relationship.
Okay, all right. So tell me, when you go into labor early, how early?
6 months.
Okay. So had there been any warning signs that there was a problem, or not really?
Not quite. Nothing that we should have been alarmed about.
Okay, so what happens?
They took the baby in an incubator, and she was taken away immediately, and later that evening she passed away.
Okay, and I'm so sorry for your loss. And I am so sorry, sir, for your loss, because I know this has to have been very painful for the two of you. So tell me what happens. How do you end up leaving the hospital? What do they end up? Did they ever let you hold the baby?
No, I didn't want to hold her in that moment. I just felt like I couldn't do it. After the hospital, I was free to leave only a few days after, and so I left with Peter. Mm-hmm. And when we went home, things were not okay. Again, there was so many screaming matches. We were constantly.
What were the screaming matches about now?
Financials. We didn't have a lot of money.
How long after? Okay, you folks decided to cremate the baby, mm-hmm. And who paid for the cremation?
I did.
Okay, and was there some agreement between the two of you that he would pay you back, or pay you half, or do something, or?
We had no agreement regarding the financials of it. We had only agreed on what we were going to do in the moment with the cremains.
The cremation. Okay.
So we left her in an urn, and we hadn't discussed anything further.
Okay. Well, okay. So what happens? How long after did you end up breaking up with the defendant?
2 months after, I we got into another screaming match, and I left the home a day later. I left him a note, and I went to my parents back in Virginia, which is where I was born.
Okay. All right. So, and what happened with the baby's remains?
I left her there. I felt that in that moment I couldn't just take her away from him. I didn't think that that was right, so I left her. In the note that I had left, I did say that I did want to have a discussion about it.
And then what happens?
2 weeks after I had initially left and gotten home, 2 weeks I had tried to reach out to him, and every time I tried to reach out, I would get a no call, a blocked number. He blocked me. And the last conversation we had had was him threatening to spread our daughter's ashes on his parents' property without my permission.
And you said to him what?
I told him that I didn't want that, and that was not what we had agreed upon.
What had you agreed upon?
We had agreed to just leave her in the urn.
And then who would have the urn?
We did not discuss.
So there had never been a discussion, once you guys were breaking up, that there had not been a post-breakup discussion of what was going to be done?
We did not plan on breaking up.
Yeah, nobody ever does. Nobody ever does.
Coming up on Justice for the People.
What is his reaction to you getting up and leaving stealthily like that?
He actually sent me a text message that had said that he was glad that I had left.
If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. Closed captioning, Judge Millian. We're back with the case of Alicia Anderson, who brought her ex-fiancé, Peter Williams, to court over their daughter's urn.
What is his reaction to you getting up and leaving stealthily like that? Because it's not like you sat down, said, we need to break up, this isn't working. You know, you didn't have a face-to-face. You didn't even have a text. You just took off. So what was his reaction? Was he calling you?
No, he actually sent me a text message that had said that he was glad that I had left.
Okay. Let me hear from you on this. Was her leaving a surprise to you?
Absolutely. I was completely blindsided. I came home from work one day to a note, and it was very vague.
What did it say?
It just said, I can't do this anymore. There are still a few things I would like to talk about. But the fact that she took everything of hers, some things of ours, that was a final statement to me, Your Honor.
Okay.
And she had done this before, as she said, that she had left to go to a friend's place for 2 weeks. I didn't know she was going to do that. And so for me, this was just part of a cycle that I didn't feel like was going to end. That for me was the final.
What are you suing for, Ms. Anderson? You're suing for $735 of a flight from Virginia back to Los Angeles in order to address the issue that you had left hanging, right? Like, he didn't make you go to Virginia. Why would he have to pay for you to fly back?
He blocked me. I was trying to get in contact with him so we can discuss what we were going to do with the cremains. I wanted to talk to him, and I wanted to reconcile things and figure out if there was something that we could do. We could split her, but at this point I have no idea what he's done with her cremains at all. So I'm...
Where are her cremains right now?
They still remain in the urn.
In the urn. You did not do what you threatened to do. Why did you even threaten to do that?
It was not a threat, Your Honor. I did not mean it to be malicious. It was just something that I had decided to do after hearing the final word from her.
Okay, say that sentence again.
It was something that I decided to do after hearing what I...
For the People with Judge Millian. We're back with the case of Alicia Anderson, who brought her ex-fiancé, Peter Williams, to court over their daughter's urn.
You know, that's a very painful thing that you left him with, and a financial debacle, because now he has to come up with double the rent because you left, because you never sent any rent, right?
No.
Right. So you understand that, right?
I completely understand that. But when I flew back, I tried to speak with him, and I wanted to apologize. I wanted to talk to him and see what we were planning on doing if this was something that even possibly could be fixed. But even then, at that point, he was just yelling at me. He was screaming at me. There was nothing that I could say.
What was he yelling? What was he saying when he was yelling?
He said that I didn't care, that I never cared about him, that I didn't care about the cremains, that I had left, and that was the decision that I had chose to make, and I need to live with it.
Yeah, no. No, that's just not the law, okay? Those cremains belong to both of you. You're both the parents of that child, okay? There are people who have absolutely no problem splitting up the remains. And there are people that somehow have a psychological problem with that. I think I belong to the first group where I don't have a problem, because I understand that I would understand that the person I loved is just represented in the ashes, right? What is, in a perfect world, what would you want to see happen, Alicia?
I would like to split the cremains.
Okay, and Mr. Williams, Peter, in a perfect world, what would you want to see happen, assuming that you had amicably broken up as opposed to the horrible way she left you?
Coming up.
We're having the dialogue now, and because I've got to, since you guys didn't, I have to. So I want to hear what you think should happen.
I don't believe that I should have to pay any monetary damages.
Closed captioning with Judge Millian. We're back with the case of Alicia Anderson, who brought her ex-fiancé, Peter Williams, to court over their daughter's urn.
I would have been open to a dialogue about this.
Well, we're having the dialogue now, and because I've got to, since you guys didn't, I have to. So I want to hear what you think should happen.
I don't believe that I should have to pay any monetary damages.
I don't either. I think that in a relationship, someone picks up this bill, someone picks up that bill. You guys were in a relationship at the time. I don't think she really. I think she just wants half the remains. I don't think that she really wants $2,000-something. Am I reading you correctly? What you want is half of the remains.
Absolutely, yes.
I know. Okay, but he doesn't have to pay for your flight back to a place you chose to leave, and he doesn't have to pay. I don't think that you were, when you said that you paid for it, is he right that that's like in the, you guys were still dating, it just happens to be that you paid for it, he may have paid for something else, and that's kind of how it was? Or did you pay for it and he said, I'll pay you the other half?
There was no discussion.
No discussion about it, which means that it's not a loan, that he owes you the money. So I'm not going to find that he owes you any money for the cremation. I'm not going to find that he owes you any money for the flight back. I am ordering that the remains be split evenly between the two of you. There is a method for this, because you may not want to do this yourselves, and whatever place did the cremation will do that for you for a price, and that's one way to do it.
Judge Millian's verdict when justice for the people returns. Promotional consideration provided by...
Everyone has a different reaction to this. This is a representation of your baby. You are entitled to have that memory, and you are also entitled to have that memory. She's entitled to leave a relationship. You're right, you don't owe any monetary damages. But I'm going to ask you guys to stay in the courthouse, and we're going to make some arrangements now so that the ashes are split evenly between the two of you, okay? You two have a shared trauma that no one else understands except the two of you. And it would be nice if at some point in your lives you would be able to talk about it without all the other hurt, if enough time has passed, or once enough time has passed, because no one else is going to understand your loss of this baby the way the two of you, only the two of you on this earth understand that. And you might need each other a little bit. I wish you luck.
All rise.
Judge Millian has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim is denied.
The Compassionate Friends, TCF, is a national nonprofit self-help organization offering emotional support to families grieving the death of a precious child of any age from any cause. TCF offers supports to parents and anyone in a guardianship role, grandparents and adult siblings. You can reach them through their website at www.compassionatefriends.org or call them at 877-969-00.
In me, and I was thrilled. So I moved her out, moved her in with me.
Okay, and you moved her in with you because the two of you got engaged?
Yes, I proposed after 6 months with her. At my house, exactly,
Okay.
in Los Angeles.
So everything's going fine.
Yes.
She's living with you at your house in Los Angeles.
Yes.
And then what's the first thing that, according to you now, makes you uncomfortable? She asks for what?
First, she asked for her teeth. New veneers. She had to have them. And because I proposed, I wanted her to look beautiful at our wedding. I went and paid for them.
Okay.
Under the assumption she would be my wife.
Was she working?
No.
Your Honor,
No.
Hold on a second. You'll have the floor in
she's
a minute.
not working. She's
Okay.
enjoying Los Angeles. She wants to be a model, actress.
Okay.
So now she wants a Beverly Hills makeover.
Okay.
She wants stylist and hair and new clothes.
And did you pay for that?
Yes. But I was assuming it wasn't just a date. This is my fiance. We're engaged.
So it's like
to be
an
married.
investment.
Yes.
With no risk to you, because you're in court to sue for your investment.
There obviously was a risk. I
Okay,
did
but
not
you
see
don't
it
want
coming.
to. You don't want to eat the risk in your investment, though.
No,
Because
no.
you're special. You're not like any other guy who spends a bunch of money and then things don't work out.
I assumed she was going to marry me.
Were you trying to defraud him, darling?
no, I was not. I was not. He
What
offered-
happened here? Why did you end up breaking up with him?
So he offered to pay for all of this stuff, and the reason why we broke up is because his sister Rachel is the one that organized the whole bachelorette party, and she told us both that she was gonna get like a spa treatment day, like a night, and like girls with like champagne and do some spa treatments and facials and stuff like that. And I loved it. I was like, so much fun. But what happened was that what I saw was a bus, like a party bus with a stripper inside.
I told her one thing for the bachelorette party.
Who'd you tell?
I
didn't
told it to
organize.
her.
But she's not planning the bachelorette
No,
party.
exactly.
What'd you
But
tell
I
your
told
sister?
her no strippers.
Right, but
No strippers
what'd you
at
tell
the
your
bachelorette.
sister who was planning the bachelorette
I
party?
don't tell her anything, but I told my
Well, but
fiance.
she's planning it. The person who's going to hire the stripper is the planner. So did you say that to your sister?
No, but
There we go.
Your Honor, I told her, and I expect her not to bring it back to. I have children. I don't want it to be that their new mother-in-law or mother is going
Can
to.
I ask you a question? How old are you? Just
a
do
little,
it.
65.
Okay, and how old are you?
27.
Okay, do you think that the problem your children are going to have is that there's a stripper at a bachelorette party, or do you think that maybe the 65-27 might be the problem your children are
They
already?
might have that, but they love her. They've learned to love
They
her.
did.
She stayed at the house.
And I love them too. Like that
Okay.
was not the issue.
So what happened? You get in the bus.
I got in the bus and I saw the stripper. It was a guy like dressed as a cop.
Oh, that's
And
awesome.
my first thought was, oh my gosh, like he's gonna flip. So I went to Rachel and I said, Rachel, I think this is too much. Like he's not gonna like it. And she was like, oh, he's gonna be fine. We're just having a night out. Like he's gonna understand. We're good. And I thought, oh wow, maybe they've talked because they have a great relationship and maybe they've planned this all along for us to have fun. So I told him everything. I was super excited to share with him, and his reaction was just being angry at me, yelling at me, throwing stuff around. I got very scared of my well-being. There were like glasses of like with water and stuff, and I thought at one point he was gonna throw one at me because I was very scared for my well-being.
What was he not what was going on in your imagination? What was he actually doing?
He was yelling at me bad words.
What was he saying?
That I cheated on him, that I was, I don't want to say it.
Say it.
A B word.
Okay.
A C word.
Coming up on Justice for the People.
When he's storming around, throwing things and calling you a B and a C, what happened? What did you decide?
Well, I got very scared and I saw a side of him that I didn't know before. So I gave him the ring and I said, I'm not going to marry you.
And later,
And you've literally come to court to sue for the decision you made not to go to work.
So the decision that I made was based on the promise that she gave me.
if you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. Closed captioning provided by... We're back with the case of Mike Lathan, who is fighting with Claire Garcia over a pricey makeover.
And so my question to you, though, is have you always dated older men, or is this the first?
I typically like older than my age, for sure. Because
Right, but
I feel
30 years older than you? I'm sorry, not
That was-
30,
that
40
was-
years older? Like, whatever
That was
this...
the first time. I've dated 20 older, but not like 30. But
Okay. So you come to L.A.,
yeah.
and you ask him for a bunch of things, including what was it, an LA makeover, a Beverly Hills makeover, what was it?
No.
Yes.
I didn't ask him to pay for it, Your Honor. He said it was a treat. He said he wanted to treat.
What was it, his idea or your idea?
No, he said it. He said it was a treat. He wanted to
Whose idea was it for you to go to the dentist and get veneers?
It
His
was
or
his
yours?
idea.
Okay.
He mentioned
and
it.
then what about the makeover and the stylist and all that stuff?
Oh my gosh, it was a hairdresser. I just went to the hairdresser to get like new style, to cut my hair.
Did you get a new wardrobe or anything like that?
No.
Okay. So what happened when he's storming around, throwing things and calling you a B and a C? What happened? What did you decide?
Well, I got very scared, and I saw a side of him that I didn't know before. So I gave him the ring, and I said, I'm not gonna marry you. I don't wanna spend the rest of my life with a man that is gonna get these spurts of like, I don't know, aggressivity, and like, just be like so, like full of rage with me. Like he was not trusting me. There was no honesty within it. I came up
Did
clear.
you ever talk to your sister and say to your sister, what is this?
Yes, I did after this was all over. And I wished I would have talked to her before and told her no strippers.
But what did you, tell me about how the conversation went with your sister. Because you know it's your sister who was behind all of it. She was just trying to be a good sister-in-law and throw a bachelorette party.
Yep, but she also said that Claire was way into this too. She was into the stripper, she was into the whole thing. What she's painting her as a little angel now, and it was thrust upon her. She knew it was coming, and she was glad. She lied to me to start with that there was going to be a stripper. And so my sister told me all that, so I'm not holding my sister totally responsible. She never told her not to have it.
No, you misunderstand what I'm saying. I don't think anybody did anything wrong. There's no one to hold responsible. You are crazy. I think that you are very, very possessive of your trinket. This child who is probably younger than your children.
And maybe I overreacted, but it was one incident where I overreacted, and I did not want that to go on, and so I don't think she should have left me after I invested all that in her.
So I'm going to be the judge of that? I'm going to be the judge of whether the 27-year-old wants to stay with a 65-year-old who treats her like she's a child and who calls her a B word and a C word because your sister hired a stripper. You know, I'm going to be the judge of whether she has a right to do that, or if she breaks up with you, she somehow has to pay you all this money that you spent on her. Or am I going to look at this and say, hey, you picked what you were going to do, and you can spend your money however you see fit. And if you choose to spend it on bringing a 27-year-old into your life, and then it doesn't work out because she doesn't want to marry you, too bad for you. I got column A or column B.
I see you're defrauding me, though. I didn't only buy
that.
How is that defrauding you? I bought her dinners.
How is that defrauding you? How is that defrauding you? She broke up with you because you lost your beans over the fact that your sister threw her a bachelorette party.
And I get upset and she walks out.
Yeah.
And I've already done all that. And I've already paid wedding stuff. I'm not even asking for all the money I've spent, just the partial. Just maybe the dental work.
And the reason that you're asking for that is because you saw a post that she made. And let me see the post. Let me see the...
She was planning this all along.
When you lose a man but get a glow up. And it's a picture of you.
Your Honor.
And I paid for the glow up. That outfit, that hair,
may I speak?
that makeup, those
you did.
teeth. I did.
Yeah.
How big
was the gun that someone put to your head to make you pay for it? Go ahead.
That photo was posted after a friend came over because I was heartbroken, and she was like, no, you're young, let's get out of there. So she was like,
okay. I want to say something. I don't care if you used him or were heartbroken. You are very busy trying to persuade me. I don't care. You see, because it's not a lawsuit to spend a bunch of money on your cha-cha and then come to court and tell me I want my money back because it was all a fraud, because I didn't get what I wanted and I get what I want all the time. No, that's not a lawsuit. Verdict's for the defendant. Tough. For goodness sake.
All rise.
Judge Milian has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim is denied.
Any last remarks for each other?
Good luck finding a new hobby.
You defrauded me. You deserve to pay me.
Exit this way, please. Make sure you grab all of your belongings.
Coming up.
So I went to the door and I talked to the ticketing person and I said, my name is Elsie Lou, and she was like, it's not on here.
Elsie Lou claimed she was left off the guest list after the singer she idolized promised to add her, so she turned down work for nothing. Sydney Hart says she tried to make things right, but Miss Lou trashed her on social media.
Okay, Ms. Lou, you are suing Ms. Hart for $850 because she cost you a catering gig. Tell me what happened.
So I ran into her, and she's an artist that I really looked up to at the time. She was kind of the reason that I moved to LA. I used to live in, I'm from Seattle, and I was just gonna tell her, like, I'm such a big fan of yours, like, you really inspired me, like, keep doing your thing and thank you. And she was like, are you coming to my show tonight? And I said no, because I had a catering gig, and she was like, how much does it pay? And I was like, $850. And she was like, I guess that is, like, you know, important, but I feel like it would be a better investment in your career.
She said that, or you felt that?
She said that.
Do you sing? Do you dance? What is it that you do that somehow was going to further your career?
I'm a singer-songwriter, so is she.
Okay.
She said that this was going to be an event where there were a lot of music execs.
Okay, so then you made a decision, and what was your decision?
My decision was to cancel on my catering gig and go to her show.
Okay, and then what happened? You get to the place, to the venue.
So I went to the door and I talked to the ticketing person, and I said, my name is Elsie Lou, and like, she was like, it's not on here. And then that confused me because she literally, in front of me, called her manager to...
Oh, so you know that she wasn't just, you know, blowing smoke. She was actually making the call to her manager right in front of you, so you could see that she was trying to get you the ticket.
I mean, the call wasn't on speakerphone, so I don't really know, but...
So you end up going. There's some problem at the door. They don't let you in, correct?
They don't let me in.
And you've literally come to court to sue for the decision you made not to go to work.
So the decision that I made was based on the promise that she gave me.
Coming up.
Called my manager. I said, please make sure that they're on the list, because I know that I can't really deal with any of that, knowing how much I have to do. Yeah.
Closed justice for the people with Judge Millian. We're back with the case of Elsie Lou, who brought singer Sydney Hart to court after she was left off a guest list.
So you called your manager, you asked your manager to do it, and something went wrong.
Yeah, so I called my manager. I said, please make sure that they're on the list, because I know that I can't really deal with any of that, knowing how much I have to do.
Perform.
Yeah, so called him, let him know. He said he'd take care of it, and then we talked for a little bit about music.
Does your manager know you're being sued over this?
Yeah, he knows.
What'd your manager say about this?
Well, in the beginning, he was really apologetic. He actually wanted to give her more tickets. That was like the aftermath of it. I said that I was going to give her tickets to another show.
Had you learned that she took to social media on you?
Yeah.
And told people to,
cancel culture.
Yeah. So told people to stop supporting you because this is what happened to her. Here's my question. Why were you being so nice to her?
Because I used to be in her position where opportunities weren't so easy to get, and I wanted to give her an opportunity.
Well, I'm sure, are opportunities easy to get nowadays, Ms. Lou?
No.
Right, they're really hard. So you've got an artist who you admire and respect, who tried to get you into her show, something went wrong that's out of her control, and your go-to plan is to trash her on social media the next day because you're what, for?
So the night that I was trying to get in, I was calling and texting her.
Yeah, I know, she's busy, because you know what? She's a performer. So she's not answering her phone and texting and everything. She's not doing that. So that is predictable, that she couldn't solve your problem. Something went wrong at the door. But I'm just trying to get into your psyche. You are someone who calls herself a singer-songwriter. You have made the incredible connection on a cafe or street corner, wherever you two were, where someone who you admire and respect is actually attempting to help you, which frankly doesn't happen very often. People don't want to introduce you to their business contacts. You got that, and because you couldn't get into the concert that night, you decided to trash her the next day and sever that connection.
Judge Millian's verdict when justice for the people returns. Promotional consideration provided by Judge Millian.
How is it that you think she's going to pay you your $850 over a decision? Stop talking. This is so rhetorical. You're not understanding me. This is your decision, and you eat it. But the worst part about it is that you are so myopic that you do not even realize that it was the dumbest decision you've ever made. Not the skipping the catering gig. That's not the dumbest. That was maybe the smartest decision you ever made. But then, when things don't go right at the door, instead of trying to call her and connect with her and get her contacts and move and progress your life, you then make this decision, which is the dumbest decision you have ever made. Verdict for the defendant.
All rise.
Judge Milian has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim. Sarah Dawson claims her sister left an avoidable stain on their mother's carpet after she spilled holiday yams. Angela Lewis says she rented a carpet cleaner, but before she got a chance to use it, the plaintiff hired a professional.
Okay, Ms. Dawson, you are suing your sister, Ms. Lewis, for $300 that it cost you to, I guess, have your carpet professionally cleaned?
Yes.
After she, according to you, had ruined it. Tell me what happened.
So I'm here to sue my irresponsible little sister. She messed up the carpet on Christmas, and she told me that she was going to have it
How did
done.
she mess it up? Tell me what happened.
Okay, so as kids growing up, we were never allowed to enter my mother's house from the front door. Everybody knew in the neighborhood, everyone knows that we come in through the kitchen door. So today, that day was no different.
Why, though, was that growing up?
Because my mother's antiques are in the front room, so she doesn't like too many people in the front room. So everybody just went with her word. We all come in through the kitchen door. So it was
one of those rooms that no one's allowed to use.
Absolutely.
Right.
One of those
we had one of those in my house, too.
Absolutely.
Okay. Go ahead.
So on Christmas, this particular day, everybody knows the rules except some people.
How many sisters are you?
There are 6 of us. I'm the second oldest, and she's the second from the last.
Okay.
So she's always thinking, you know, she can do whatever she wants to do. So it was Christmas, and myself and my other sisters, we're in the kitchen, have the music playing, and we're getting everything together.
So this is the house, just to be clear, this is the house that everybody grew up in?
Yes.
Okay. And is your mom still with us?
Yes, my mom is older, so I live there. My mother and I live there together.
Our mother.
How old is your mother?
I said that. My mother, she's in her 80s.
Okay, go on.
So I live there with our mother, and so she comes in. She's late, mind you. She comes in late.
How late?
Like 35, 40 minutes late.
Okay.
And we've already discussed what time we're all supposed to be there. So my sister has the refrigerator door open that kind of not letting her get into the kitchen.
Your another sister?
Yes, my other sister. So it was like 3 of us in the kitchen cooking, and my nieces were at the table making salads and doing the teas and everything, and we're waiting on her to come. So when she comes in, she's like, hurry up, close the door, close the door. And we're like, okay, give us a second. My sister's trying to rearrange the refrigerator so all the cakes and pies can fit in there. So she's Little Miss Impatient. So before my sister...
I don't understand. Why doesn't your sister just go like this and let her in and then open it again and then go about
it? It's a small
space. But that's between you and the sister. That has nothing to do with her. So go on.
Thank you. So it's a small space. So
I know it's small, but
she could.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm picturing it, and then I'm saying, yeah, take a step back, close the door a second. She comes in, then you open the door, and then you keep working.
Absolutely.
But why
totally
didn't your sister do that? Was she mad at her for being late?
Possibly.
Okay. Were you mad at her for being late?
No,
yes.
I was not 100%. mad at you. I was not. I told my sister.
So did you, when she said, close the door and let me in, what did you say?
I said, give her 1 second. She's almost done.
She's like, give me 5 minutes.
Hold on, nobody's talking to you yet. Go ahead. What?
So I said, give her 1 second. She's about to be done. I said, hurry up and get it done. So she was hurrying and trying to move things out the way. But Little Miss Impatient, she decides she's going to go out of the back door and go back in through the front door.
Okay.
And then guess what?
Why is the front door open if nobody's allowed to come in through it?
Because my mom will step outside sometimes and go on the porch and get fresh air or something like that. You know.
She's allowed to go in there.
It's her house, absolutely. So
all right.
who's going to tell her no?
So she walks. So this sister walks in through the front door with her candied yams.
This sister, yes.
And then?
And so she has on her little heels, and she just spills her little nasty candied yams yams all over my carpet.
Okay, hold on one second. Now the candied yams are nasty
They
too?
are.
All right, anyways, stop screaming.
We give it to the babies that doesn't have teeth. Yeah.
She tripped?
Yeah, she tripped because she can't walk in heels. So she tripped, and she dropped the yams on the floor. So I would have never known, but my nephew, he comes into the kitchen and says she ran into the bathroom, get hand soap and paper towels to try to clean it up. So I go out, me being me, you know, because I usually have to, you know, make sure everything's organized in the family. Mom looks for me to do that.
She's a control freak.
So anyway.
I would like to make clear to you that you're going to have a chance to speak.
Okay.
It's just not at the same time.
All right.
All right, go ahead.
All right.
So, me being me, I go out and I check and see the mess that she made. So she did try to clean it up, but it looks like she smeared it into the carpet. The little nasty yams were put back in the pan, but it was still...
I'm sorry, with like carpet hair and stuff?
Coming up on Justice for the People.
And she tried, you know, she did pick up the yams, but she smeared you know, it's a lot of juice and pineapple and everything.
You know, there's a way to clean a carpet, and rubbing it in is not the way.
It looked like she rubbed it in because she didn't want to do it because her outfit, it was kind of cute, but that wasn't the point. She messed up the carpet that I got put in that house.
Did she apologize?
No, she didn't.
With Judge Millian. We're back with a case of Sarah Dawson, who blames her sister, Angela Lewis, for ignoring a carpet stain.
Nobody served him. Okay,
yeah, we were going to toss it.
So she was cleaning
like
it
we should have tossed it in the first place.
Okay.
Now we can really toss it.
Okay.
So she, you know, so she picked it up and she tried, you know, she did pick up the yams, but she smeared you know, it's a lot of juice and pineapple and everything. So
you know, there's a way to clean a carpet, and rubbing it in is not the way.
And that's exactly what it looked like. It looked like she rubbed it in because she didn't want to do it because her outfit, it was kind of cute, but that wasn't the point. She messed up the carpet that I got put in that house. So, you know, I said, well, you know, we're about to have Christmas dinner. You know, she cleaned it up as she could, and I said...
Did she apologize?
No, she didn't.
What, she didn't say anything?
You should have removed the refrigerator door. I said, okay, but we had already closed it by the time you already came through the front door. If you would have waited a couple...
just don't trip if you're going to come through. But anyway, so go ahead. So what happens?
So she picks it up or whatever, and...
Is everybody mad at Christmas?
We didn't want those yams, so we were okay.
Never mind the yams. I'm talking about the fights.
Okay. Sorry about that. No, I think everybody, we were all in pretty good spirits.
Okay.
She came in as Miss Grinch, but let me in. So, you know, so we, as usual, we just let her, you know, throw her little tantrums. So when she picked it up, we went on about business. But I said, so tomorrow, I'm going to need you to get over here and, you know, and get this up. She said, well, I'll rent a carpet cleaner, you know, from the grocery store, and I'll come get it. I said, I need you to do it tomorrow. She said, okay, I will. That's what she said. So tomorrow comes, I call her at 10 a.m. And I called her, she ignored my call, didn't say anything. So I let it go. I called her a couple of hours later. She ignored me again. So then I gave it one last shot. She didn't respond. So I waited, you know, a couple more days, and then finally I called my carpet cleaning guy who comes and cleans.
So for several days she's neither returning your phone calls nor showing up to clean it.
Exactly.
Right. So you called your carpet guy, he charged you $300. Was he able to get the stain out?
Yes, he got it out. He's really good. He got it out.
So do you have a picture of the stain as she left it?
I do.
Okay.
Give me 1 second. There you go. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Ms. Lewis, what happened?
Thank you, Your Honor. So it was Christmas. We were having our usual gathering at our mother's home.
Of course.
I know it's natural to say my mom,
it
right?
Is natural to say your mom.
It's a great offense when she said that. But go ahead.
Yeah,
okay, go on.
I did. But now I got it. So anyway, we're having this gathering, and I get to the back door, which is where we do normally enter. Obviously, there are several doors we could go into. So I get to the back door, and it's blocked. I can't get in. I'm holding macaroni and cheese and then my yams on top, very hot. I have on my heels. I have on my cute outfit. Thanks for acknowledging that, by the way. And I can't get in. And she's like, give me like 5 minutes. Give me 5 minutes. I'm like,
5 minutes?
I'm sorry, I never
Stop
said
a
5
second.
minutes.
No, I didn't let her interrupt you, and I'm not going to let you interrupt her. Go ahead.
She's like, give me 5 minutes. We'll move it.
5 minutes? That's a long time.
Thank you.
Right. Go ahead.
So I go around to the front, and I come
She
in.
denies having said that, of course. She said that what she said was, wait 1 second, hurry up, and that you were impatient. Go ahead.
They were taking their sweet time.
Okay.
Sweet time. So
Were you late?
I was late.
How late were you?
I wasn't very late, maybe 20, 25 minutes.
So you're 25 minutes late, but you want them to stop what they're doing to let you in.
Right, but Your Honor, my outfit was so cute. It was very worth it.
Okay.
It was worth the time. I mean, she even said
Okay,
it
but
herself.
can't you just put it down and wait a second, put the trays down and just wait?
I could,
But you didn't, because
didn't.
you feel like she thinks she's the boss of you.
Controlling everything.
Does she just control you or everybody?
Mainly me, but she likes to control every single aspect of her life.
Okay, well, some people are like that. They like to have predictability and...
She's very type A, Your Honor.
Yeah, well, that's not a bad thing.
It's not bad, but it is bad when it comes to a sibling relationship.
It's only bad if you impose it on others.
Right, and that's what she does.
By doing what? It can't possibly be wait a second late person that made you say... This has to be a history of baggage between the two of you.
Yes, yes.
All right.
She has always, she wanted me to go to Ohio State like she did. I went to Boston University. Like every single aspect of my life she has wanted to control. And when she
How much older than you is she?
We're 3 years apart.
Oh, geez. I thought you were going to say some big, not because anybody looks at anything, but I thought you were going to say some big age where maybe, you know, she pulled you around like a doll when you were a baby and she was already grown. 3 years is nothing.
Yeah, but she still did that.
Okay.
I mean, we're 3 years apart, but you could say we're like 10 years the way she treats me.
Okay.
So I go around to the front door. There's so many things blocking the entrance of the door.
You mean the front door?
No. Yes.
Hold on. Please do not interrupt. Go ahead.
Thank you. So I trip, and the yams fall because they're on top of the macaroni and cheese.
Oh, jeez.
And I couldn't get my outfit dirty. So
heavens no. Better to get the rug dirty.
Well, I just, you know, we have options, right? We have to make sure. So it goes out of my hands, it falls onto the carpet, but I immediately go to the bathroom. I get the carpet cleaner, I clean it up.
Wait, how did you clean it up exactly?
Coming up.
Well, forget about the taste of the yams. Go on.
So I take the scrubber, I spray, I scrub, I, take towels and I clean it up. And it was in pretty good condition. Now, honestly, if my sweet little nephew, who I've taken out of my will now, had not...
Ratted you out?
Yeah, ratted me out. No one would have known.
Closed captioning provided by Justice for the People with Judge Millian. We're back with a case of Sarah Dawson, who blames her sister, Angela Lewis, for ignoring a carpet stain.
So I get the carpet cleaner. It has a little brush on top of it. I clean everything up. I put it back into the pan. Again, we weren't going to eat it at that point. And by the way, they're not nasty. They're world famous.
We'll forget about the taste of the yams. Go on.
So I take the scrubber, I spray, I scrub, I, take towels and I clean it up. And it was in pretty good condition. Now, honestly, if my sweet little nephew, who I've taken out of my will now, had not...
Ratted you out?
Yeah, ratted me out. No one would have known.
Well, okay, first of all, that is not the standard. Like, will anyone know that I've ruined the carpet? I mean, if you spilled something, one would think you'd say, oh, geez, guys, help me out. Look at what happened. I'm so sorry. And you'd want to make good on cleaning it. Sure. You wouldn't want to not be caught.
Well, exactly.
No,
right?
not exactly.
Right, yeah.
That's how I would behave.
Sure.
The way you would behave is
everybody's different.
To the nieces and nephews so that you don't get ratted on and caught.
Everybody's different, Your Honor.
I'll say.
Yeah.
All right, so go on.
And by the way, it looked better than that. I don't know what's happening here. I don't know if she tried to clean it again. It looked better when I did it.
No, she had it cleaned and it all came out. Haven't you been there since then to visit your mother? All right, so you know it's out now.
Yeah, I know it's out now.
All right.
Okay, so then my sister proceeds to, I tell her I'll take care of it. I'll go ahead and I'll rent one of the machines from the grocery store from a hardware store.
Did she specify that she wanted you there the next day to do it?
I don't remember that part.
coming up.
Did she call you the next day to find out where you were?
She may have called.
Did she leave messages saying, where are you?
You know what, Your Honor? I'm very busy. I'm such a busy little bee.
Okay. Okay, little busy bee.
Closed captioning provided by This is Justice for the People with Judge Millian. We're back with a case of Sarah Dawson, who blames her sister Angela Lewis for ignoring a carpet stain.
Does she seem like the type who's patient?
Yeah, no.
Right.
No.
So she probably said that, right?
If anything's possible.
Okay. Did she call you the next day to find out where you were?
She may have called.
Did she text you and say, I asked you to come, or did she leave messages saying, where are you?
You know what, Your Honor? I'm very busy. I'm such a busy little bee.
Okay. Okay, little busy bee.
Yeah.
How many days did you wait?
Sure. I waited maybe 3 or 4 days.
And then what?
And then I told her, I would get the machine. I was going to come, clean it up. It would be all done. But then I start getting texts that say, I already did it. You owe me $300. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
Nope. How much would it have costed to rent the machine?
It cost me $59.
How much would it have costed to return a phone call? Apparently, it cost $300.
Wow.
Right? I mean, because, I believe with every fiber of my being that she said, the next day, I want you here tomorrow. I'm pretty sure that happened because she is your big sister who treats you that way. And all you had to do was tell her, listen, I'm coming Thursday to do it. Because it isn't a rush. I get it. But if you're supposed to be there the next day and you not only don't go, but you also don't return any phone calls and don't return any texts, and let several days go by until she just takes care of things herself.
But I did rent the machine. I paid for that already.
Yeah, well, that's a shame.
Judge Millian's verdict when Justice for the People returns. Promotional consideration. This is Justice for the People with Judge Millian.
So apparently I was wrong when I said that it cost $300 not to return a phone call.
Wow.
Apparently it cost $359 not to return a phone call. Because I am going to order you to pay $300 for the cleaning of the carpet. Honey, it happened at your hands, and I'm just so busy I can't do what I said I'd do or return any phone calls. No, I think I think that you should do the math and figure out that she's not going to look at that stain. Every time she walks by that stain, she gets madder and madder at you. So she's going to take matters into her own hands. Okay? It's not like she replaced the carpeting. That would be extreme. But she had a carpet cleaner come and clean it because you didn't do what you said you were going to do, which is come the next day. But worse than that, you blew her off, which made her even more angry because you were just ignoring her calls, not doing what you said you were going to do after you stained her carpet because you couldn't wait 1 second after you were 20-something, 30 minutes late.
45.
Right? 45 minutes late.
Oh my
okay.
gosh.
Have I got it?
Yeah.
$300 verdict for the plaintiff.
All rise.
Judge Millian has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant owes $300.
That's all you had to do.
Ridiculous. You're
That's all you had
absolutely
to do.
ridiculous human
You never
being.
listen. That's your problem now.
You're ridiculous.
It's always been your problem. I'll take my money, honey.
Xin chào các bạn, chào mừng các bạn đã quay lại với kênh của mình. Ngày hôm nay chúng ta sẽ cùng nhau đi tiếp tục đến bài tập trang 32, bài 26, đơn vị đo độ dài, sách giáo khoa toán lớp 1 tập 2 của kết nối tri thức. Bài tập của chúng ta yêu cầu ngày hôm nay đó là chúng ta sẽ phải học về đơn vị đo độ dài, và đơn vị đo độ dài mà chúng ta thường học đó là cm. Trước tiên thì chúng ta sẽ cùng nhau học về đơn vị đo độ dài bằng một gang tay nhé các bạn nhé. Một gang tay, các bạn này chúng ta sẽ lấy ví dụ về gang tay nhá. Ở đây chúng ta sẽ có một cái bút chì, một cái thước kẻ và những cái gang tay, đúng không nào? Một sải tay của chúng ta xòe ra như thế này thì tính từ đầu của cái ngón giữa dài nhất đến ngón cái sẽ được gọi là một gang tay các bạn nhé. Ví dụ như mình sẽ có cái bảng này, cái bảng này dài bao nhiêu nhỉ? Mình sẽ đo bằng gang tay của mình. Một gang tay, và chỗ này là được một nửa nữa thì chúng mình sẽ là một gang tay rưỡi nhá. Ở đây thì chúng ta sẽ có gì nhỉ? Một cái thước kẻ thì sẽ bằng 2 gang tay. Rồi 1, 2, 3, 3 gang tay thì sẽ bằng một cái bút chì sẽ bằng 2 găng tay, một cái thước kẻ sẽ bằng 3 găng tay các bạn ạ. Tương tự như vậy chúng ta sẽ cùng nhau thực hiện đo cho những đồ vật ở đây. Đầu tiên là một chiếc bình hoa màu vàng có 1, 2, 3, 4. Có gì nhỉ? Có chiều cao là 4 găng tay đúng không nào? Độ dài là 4 găng tay. Bình hoa màu đỏ sẽ có độ dài là 2 găng tay. Còn bình hoa màu xanh sẽ có độ dài là 1, 2, 3 găng tay đấy các bạn ạ. Tiếp tục chúng ta chuyển sang ý B nhé. Chúng ta cần phải đo các cái đồ vật có trong hình một cái bút chì này, một quyển toán và một cái hộp bút đúng không nào? Dễ nhìn nhất là một cái hộp bút. Hộp bút chúng ta thấy hộp bút có độ dài là 2 găng tay đấy các bạn ạ.